Free agent quarterback Aaron Rodgers just dropped a hint that he'll be signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he revealed the exact reason why he hasn't already. But first, before I get more into this, however, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also, like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, it seems as though this entire offseason has been just waiting on Aaron Rodgers to be signed as the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We all know it's basically going to happen. It's just a matter of fact when. Will he retire? Will he sign? Well, Aaron Rodgers was out doing some media interviews, and he was asked by a Chicago Bears fan, will he be ever playing as a Chicago Bears starter? And he says this: no, but I believe there's a team that might play in Chicago this year on a road trip. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll have to check it out. I love Chicago though. End quote. So, when you look at who that team is, who's playing Chicago on a road trip? Well, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers will be in Chicago on a road trip to play the Bears this season. So he basically just answered all of our questions. He will be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Anyway, he could have answered this question in a different way, because this entire offseason it's been, will he retire? Will he play football? Well, he basically just announced that he will be playing football and he won't be stepping away from the game, or else he would have answered this in a different way. So he basically just told us his decision. Now, getting into why he hasn't signed this far, and he's been waiting. The whole thing with him has been personal issues. He's been dealing with some loss in his family and some medical concerns in his family, and he has just wanted to take the time to address that before he addresses his football future and actually get back to playing, training, and being with a team. And this is what he had to say about his personal issues and why he isn't signed yet, revealing the exact reason why. You got to turn it off. I think that's the most important thing. You gotta have work-life balance and a good boundaries. Our job is 24/7 during the season. I like to always be thinking about ball, but you can't let personal problems enter the professional or let the professional enter the personal, because when they do, both suffer. And then he went on to say this: there's been a lot of times in my life where the personal issues have been bad and the professional has been a refuge. It's hard for that to last long because it always kind of leaks in. I think it's important to really have your private life private, and that bothers some people because there's entitlement to information that goes along with social media. End quote. So, that's a little bit interesting because it makes complete sense. When you think about this in terms of why he hasn't signed yet and why he hasn't been with the Pittsburgh Steelers yet, if we all know what's going to happen, he's dealing with off the field problems. And if he signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he has to be 100% there. He has to be in the building. He has to be at practices. He has to be at camp. He has to be at all of this to kind of build that camaraderie with his teammates and be there. But he personally, instead of taking breaks from the team to go deal with the personal issues, like if he had signed, he would have to go take breaks and have to leave the Steelers facility, have to leave the team, and kind of go back and address whatever needs to be addressed. But he says basically he wants to address all of this first. If he can address this and put it all aside and then be 100% focused on the team he's with, that's basically what he wants to do. And that makes sense, because if you're just taking breaks all the time to go back and address your personal issues, that could kind of put a stamp on this team in terms of, hey, you're not all together and things of that nature. So he doesn't want to do that. And it makes sense from his perspective of why. I know fans, when looking at this situation, this topic, this whole offseason, want him to just make a decision of, hey, sign with the team or don't sign with the team. Hurry up and pick one. But him personally, he doesn't want to do that. He wants to address whatever he has to address first and then sign with the team. Obviously, he has made it clear to Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers kind of front office that he will be signing based off the Steelers' decisions that they've made this offseason of not really going after a quarterback of great value other than bringing back Mason Rudolph and then drafting a quarterback in the 6th round. They haven't really gone after a top quarterback, and obviously you need a quarterback to compete in the NFL. So obviously he's made it clear that he will be signing, but obviously he has also made it clear that it will be after he addresses everything that he needs to address off the field first, so he can 100% focus on football. Like he said, keep personal, and keep on the field, not kind of have those interfere. Now, the whole point of this video is to basically give you an update on Aaron Rodgers. Now, me personally, would I want Aaron Rodgers to be the quarterback of this football team? No, I don't. I'd rather them went and maybe kept Justin Fields or went out and drafted a quarterback in terms of allow him to be the guy. In terms of Will Howard's fine, let him be the guy and see what he has. Or maybe just go a different direction at quarterback. I would rather see them do that than go with a 40-plus-year-old, 42-year-old and Aaron Rodgers at quarterback when you're not ready to completely compete for a Super Bowl. I just think it would be a waste of a year, but that's not up to me. Would I want Aaron Rodgers to be quarterback? No. Have the Steelers done a bad job in handling the quarterback situation? Yes. But at the same time, I understand where Aaron Rodgers is coming from in terms of why he hasn't signed yet. So, Aaron Rodgers, he exposes the real reason why, but he also drops a hint that he'll be signing with the team, however. But let's see how this unfolds. Now, just to give you a little bit of clarity, Aaron Rodgers, the whole thing has been, well, he signed with the Steelers or retire or maybe the Saints. Well, he basically came out and said no, he's not signing with the Saints. So he's making it clear that it's the Steelers or no one. Or it's basically the Steelers because he basically said he's playing football this year. So he said with the Saints, he isn't interested in joining their team. He doesn't feel like he wants to be in Louisiana. He's too old for that. So that's his answer for the Saints. He won't be signing with them. And we know that their quarterback situation is not really good. So there were some questions there. But he basically declines that right away in his interview, saying no, he's not signing with the Saints. And he makes it clear that he's playing football this year. So Aaron Rodgers is going to be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers eventually. When will it happen? We don't know. Will it be in a month from now? Will it be right before the season? Who knows? But he will be playing football this year based off his own comments. It's just a matter of fact now, do the Pittsburgh Steelers actually want him? After all this, do the Steelers just still go out and sign him? We all are thinking, yeah, the Steelers want Aaron Rodgers, still want Aaron Rodgers, everything like that. That Aaron Rodgers gets to dictate all of this. We're thinking all that. But at the end of the day, do the Steelers actually want Aaron Rodgers? Or are they going to go into the season with Mason Rudolph and Will Howard? We'll have to wait and see. But this is your update on Aaron Rodgers as potentially a Pittsburgh Steeler. So, this is everything you need to know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about what Aaron Rodgers has said in his interview about basically playing football, and he will be in a Chicago road trip this season for a team, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And also your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers saying why he hasn't signed with the team yet. Wanting to keep personal, fix all of that, and then be 100% focused on whatever team he goes with and have football be football. Let me know your thoughts. And also, what do you even want Aaron Rodgers? Or do you want to go into the season with Mason Rudolph and Will Howard, like I believe would be a better option? And the reason I'm saying that's a better option is because if we're not ready to compete for a Super Bowl right now anyway, why waste a year when you could go in and develop and get a year out of Will Howard and see what he has and let him learn the game at a high level by actually playing. And also, Mason Rudolph has played in the playoffs, led your team to the playoffs, see what he has. Better than a 42-year-old who hasn't done anything with the Jets recently. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis reports. Everything on this team I've covered this offseason. I'll continue to cover all the news that we get and the rumors and camp starting shortly. So make sure you stay tuned for all highlights, analysis, and reports. Turn notifications for this channel, like the video, and until next time, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.